Good day, Reed here. Thanks for joining me as I do my little walkabout at Orchestra Farm. We had a pretty epic rainstorm over the weekend. We're calling these things atmospheric rivers. I actually really like that term, because that notion that, rivers don't just exist on the, earth, they exist up in the sky as well, it seems actually very accurate. And kind of curious to see how wet it is down here today, so we'll be looking at that as we go. And I got to send out 2 paintings over the weekend because people have communicated with me around my painting offer that is still going on. Now we're moving towards the end of October, and I'm just going to say, yep, there's the water, that to close down this painting giveaway, just asking you to pay for the shipping and handling before the Christmas season, because I don't want to deal with the post office during that time of year. And it's also thrilling though to send out some paintings and clear up some space to make more artwork. I had a lovely music session this past Wednesday, some friends, and I play largely improvised music. And it did get me thinking though on what do I want to be happening? My friend that's a drummer is going to be moving away probably at least for the summer this coming year, and then maybe on a long-term basis. And a bass player friend just had another kid, so he's out of the picture for some unknown length of time. And I'm coming into essentially my late 40s now, although I'm really in the mid 40s, but how do you tell these differences? That notion of at this point, music's not paying for anything, and I certainly can't expect people to change their reality sets to come and play music. And at the same time, I'm also what do I want out of this, and how do I create that better? So I'm definitely thinking about that as I move into this week. And I had a wonderful trumpet player come out and join us. And as I was playing, I noticed my own playing change a bunch, which is interesting. As a saxophone player, I was just I'm listening at an extra bunch, and there's another, primarily melodic instrument present. And how is this going to work together? And with that, I was just I'm quieting down a bunch and not playing, as swiftly as I might otherwise play. And I'm listening a whole bunch more and matching tones, to which I thought I should really just have him over and get accustomed to how each of us play together. So that's a thought for these coming quick moments. And other things that I've been thinking about is my brother Nick, who's out there. He's also starting to work out a bunch more, and so we're sharing something like our workout routines. Although he's an electrical engineer and loves numbers, so he's keeping really great tabs. And it made me realize how I just kind of do a whole bunch of things and try to do a bunch more. And I recognize that the more we actually track what we're doing, the better our results become. And I was okay, I should probably track even better. And then I also thought, I do not sit down for my job, generally speaking. I'm moving around, and it's really difficult to express how my workday influences my physicality. And it's one of the things I like about my job is that it's physical, but it's also difficult to quantify that. Oh, yeah, more standing water over here. So these squashes are ready to come out. You can see really nice one there. In fact, let's go look at these squash for a second. They're Sibley squashes. Look at those beauties, huh? Let me put my foot next to it so you can get an idea how big that is. But there's lots of water down here. So we'll see how much actually gets processed for the winter to get ready for next year. It's a marsh down here. Anyway, on the workout front, I'm not sure how to convert my work day into a workout thing. I think I'm just not going to do it. But I did pick up 2 new kettlebells over the weekend. I had a 20-pounder before. Now I've got a 30 and a 40. And a bunch of my friends are like, wow, 40 is kind of heavy. And I was like, well, a grain of feed for the birds is 44 pounds. And as the kids keep growing, you know, they weigh a bunch. And it's surprising because my middle child, what she weighs? Something like 37, 38 pounds. And I will lay on the floor and just press her up, you know? And so the difference, though, between my 2 youngest and then any of these weights is that curiosity of like living weight compared to metal weight. I don't think anything is dead until it's like, you know, non-corporal, but we'll save that conversation for another day. And it's interesting though to feel those nuances of like, oh, this young life body really changes how its weight functions. And it's definitely one of those thoughts I've had in my own past of like making myself as light as air in different moments, or landing gently on the ground compared to like landing heavily. One of the things I was watching over the weekend got into different exercises that kind of like helped keep you young. And the first thing was jumping. And they talked about, you know, as children, we jump a lot. And then you don't even recognize when you have your last jump. And to make jumping a regular part of your life. And I was thinking about that interrelated with this sense of like, when you're jumping, how are you landing on the ground? Is it hard? Are you like 2-footed, heels down, flat feet, like a rock? Or is it more like a bird who's like fluttering down softly and can basically do one toe at a time until it's landed on the electrical wire? And those kind of like awarenesses, I think, are wonderful things to play with. You can even just do that while you're stepping on a walk, and hopefully everyone out there is getting a fair amount of walking in. But that's my thought I want to leave you with is, how are you stepping on the earth? How are you landing as you touch down? Are you a hard rock lander? Are you a softer feline walk? Are you a fluttery bird walk? Are you a human completely unconscious that you're even moving through the world walk? I'm curious about that. With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you do want a painting, send me an email. I've got my email in the description below here. And have too much fun.